So there are two fundamental operators, position and momentum. The operator value of position is itself of position, and the operator value of momentum p cap, it is minus I h cut nebula. So these are the two fundamental operators, and we have a third operator. If we take the total energy of a system, so that is the sum of kinetic plus potential energy. So this total energy gives the Hamiltonian operator, that is the sum of kinetic and potential energy. So the Hamiltonian operator is given by the sum of kinetic energy operator, which is p square by 2m. So its operator value will be p cap square by 2m plus potential energy v cap x, or v cap is your potential energy. And since the operator value of potential is itself कौन भैया बीच में डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है? कीप योरसेल्फ म्यूट प्लीज. खिलेश्वर बंजारे, ओम प्रकाश, खिलेश्वर बंजारे, मैं यहाँ से म्यूट कर देता हूँ तुमको. So these operators basically they they can be give some basic relations, whether they commute or they do not commute. So we can easily see them. We can easily see some commutation relations. Okay. So these commutation relations in quantum mechanics are basically, if suppose there are two operators. So this commutation, the commutation value of the operator A and B is written as A B commutation equals to AB minus BA. Okay. So this is just like a commutative law in the algebra. So if two matrices are commute to each other, so you can write down AB equals to BA. So similarly, if the commutation value of two operator AB is not equal to 0, means this AB is not equal to BA, तो हम ये कहेंगे कि they do not commute to each other. Means you cannot write down AB equals to BA. And if the commutation value of AB is 0, means the AB equals to BA. So in that case, A and B operators, they are said to commute to each other. So means you can change the position of operators A and B. So there is a great importance of these operators value, that you cannot easily change the position value of any operator. If they commute to each other, then you can only change the position. So you can check that whether the given operators commute or not commute. So using this relation, you can simply find out that if this value AB minus B is 0, so they will commute to each other, and if there is something value, so they will not commute. So this is called the commutation relation. Now I am showing you some fundamental commutation relation. If we see the commutation relation between x component of position and momenta, so that is xp equals to ih cut, and similarly yp, y is also ih cut, zpz is also ih cut. So these are the fundamental commutation relations. Okay. Now just wait. Next, okay. तो अभी मैं 2 स्लाइड को स्किप करके डायरेक्ट यहाँ पर आ रहा हूँ. So these are some fundamental commutation relations. Okay, xpx, ypy, and zpz. They do not commute to each other. Means their commutation value is not 0. It is ih cut. तो आप ये कह सकते हैं कि the same position and momenta operators, they always do not commute to each other. किसी को प्रॉब्लम है कुछ? So the same position and momenta coordinate, they do not commute to each other. But the unlike momenta and position coordinate, they always commute to each other. Okay. So the commutation value of x py, or x pz, or z py, or y pz, and so on, many other combinations, they will be all equals to 0. Okay. So remember this. These are the fundamental commutation relations जो हम पहले भी derive कर चुके हैं. Now, these commutation relation can be written in a generalized form, just like हमने normalization and orthogonal conditions को लिखा था generalized form में. Similarly, you can write down the, suppose xi cap is the position operator, pj is the momenta operator, and I is here, suppose it may be x, y, z, or j may be x, y, z. So it is written equals to IH का delta ij. Delta ij is called here the Kronecker delta function. And again, if I equals to j, so when I equals to j, so you will your Kronecker delta function will be 1, and if I is not equal to j, so it will be 0. So cases, suppose I equals to j means if you are taking here x component of position, so I is x and j is also x, so x px, in that case it will be 1, so that is IH cut. तो जो हमारा रिलेशन है ये मिलेगा आपको x px equals to IH cut. If if you are talking about y, so y py will be equals to IH cut. So z pz will be equals to IH cut. So when I equals to j, so this Kronecker delta function will be 1. Otherwise, it will be 0. Means if you are talking about unlike coordinate, means y px or z py or x pz whatsoever. So in that case, this Kronecker symbol delta ij, it will be 0. So then you will get these relations. So this is the generalized form of this commutation relation. Okay. Now, if we go towards the commutation value of the angular momenta operator. So angular momenta, you know, L equals to R cross P. If we resolve the x component, y component, z component, so you get the value of Lx equals to y pz minus z py, and the value of Ly equals to z px minus x pz. We can also derive the commutation relation between the position and x component of angular momentum, that you will always get 0. Remember this, you can solve it. So this is exercise for you. You can similarly prove y Ly equals to 0 and z Lz equals to 0. So using x Lx, you will write down it x Lx minus Lxx. Now put the value of Lx and just solve it. So finally you will get 0. So I mean to say that like position and angular momenta coordinate, they always commute to each other. Okay. But unlike position and momenta coordinate, angular momenta coordinate, they do not commute to each other. So suppose x, commutation value of x and Ly अगर हम देखें, so it will be equals to x comma, हमने यहाँ पे Ly की वैल्यू रख दी ऊपर से z px minus x pz. So you will get this two term. Just solve this, so you will get finally IH cut Lz. So unlike position and momenta coordinate होते हैं, वो commute नहीं करते हैं. So this is the commutation value of x Ly. Now you can similarly prove the other combinations also. You can find out the commutation value of other component like x Lz की जो आपको वैल्यू है वो मिलेगी माइनस IH कट y. ओके, या अदर और भी जो है आप उसको प्रूव कर सकते हैं. You can get the commutation relation between Lx and L square, so that will be equals to 0. Ly L square, Lz L square, ये सब बेसिक बुक में दे रखे हैं. आप अगर किसी भी क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स की बुक जो रेफरेंस में दे रखी है तो सब, और हम पहले भी इनको प्रूव कर चुके हैं. So in generalized form, you can write down the commutation relation between the position and angular momenta coordinate is I h cut epsilon I j k x k k. Again here, if we have a Kronecker delta function here, epsilon I j k. Now we have three वेरिएबल सपोज एक्स वाई जेड, तो उनके लिए हम आई जे के लिए, तो अगर आई जे के, इफ आई जे के इज आइदर 1 2 3 or 2 3 1 or 3 2 3 1 2, any combination, in that case your epsilon I j k it will be 1. that is, अगर आप यहाँ पे ले I1 लिया आपने, J2 ले लें और K3 ले लें, तो जो भी कॉम्बिनेशन बनेंगे यहाँ पे XLY और XLZ, जो भी कॉम्बिनेशन, सबकी वैल्यू जो है वो नॉन जीरो होगी. सो एंड इफ I j k equals to 1 3 2 or 3 2 1 or 2 1 3, means if you are talking about the value of epsilon x, and here, so I is suppose x, that is I is 1, and this z 3 for z and 2 for y. So if you will put this value I j k here, so in that case this will be value, this value will be -1. So basically होता क्या इसमें, यहाँ पोजीशन चेंज हो जाएगी, LZ आगे आ जाएगा, या जो रोटेशनल सिमेट्री है इट विल बी ब्रेक डाउन हियर, मींस x to y, y to z and z to x. तो in that case you will get only minus sign here, remaining thing will be same. And if all are same, like here x equals to y, x I equals to j, or I equals to k, or j equals to k, if all are same, means like coordinates, so in that case this delta function, this function will be 0 here, so you will get here 0. So these are the commutation relation I have written in a generalized form here. Okay, so you can make several combinations, all the possible combinations for this case. Okay, now after this operator value, let us we come on the eigen functions and eigen values. You know about the eigen vectors or eigen values in corresponds to a matrix. So similarly here we know that for the wave description of the particle we consider a wave function, and we have some operators also here, whether position, momenta or potential energy, so many operators are there. So when we operate a particular operator on a function, so it gives us the eigenvalue multiplied by maybe same function or maybe other function. So what is the eigen function? Eigen function is a mathematical function which is used to describe the motion of a moving particle, and a cap is any operator which is in quantum mechanics, basically it is the operator for any physical observable quantity like momentum हुआ, position हुआ, angular momenta हुआ. So if suppose a cap is any operator, fx is any function, so and such that a cap fx equals to afx, means if we have operator, if we have operated any operator a cap on the wave function fx such that it gives a constant value here a with a function again fx, so this a will be called here the eigen value, or it may be a constant probability, you can say that. So in this case this fx is called here the eigen function, a cap is called operator, and a is called eigen value. So the importance of this eigen function or operator is that whenever we operate any operator on a eigen function, so it gives us the eigen value or a constant value or probability, you can say that, sorry, proportionality constant, which is called the eigen value, not probability. Okay, let us take a very simple example here. Suppose we have a wave function fx t equals to e power I kx minus omega t. So this is basically a wave function for a moving particle along x-axis. Fx is here function. If suppose we operate a momentum operator on this wave function, so p cap we have operated here, that is x component of momenta operator. तो अगर आप यहाँ पे ऑपरेट करेंगे, so x px की जो ऑपरेटर वैल्यू है, it is minus ih cut d by dx. Let us operate this operator here. So minus ih cut, it is a constant here. If you differentiate this function fx with respect to x, तो यहाँ पे हमें x के रिस्पेक्ट में डिफरेंशिएट होगा ओनली पावर का, तो i k सेपरेट हो गया और बाकी वेव फंक्शन एज इट इज. Again put this ik, sorry, this e to power I kx minus omega t की जगह आप fxt अगर रखें आप या सिंपली x रखें तो आपको मिल गया यहाँ पे I square, that is minus, so minus minus plus h cut k fx. So finally when you have operated, when you have operated an operator here, so that operator giving you the eigenvalue. Okay, so here this is the eigenvalue h cut k. H cut k is what? Basically it is momentum, because h cut equals to h upon 2 pi and k equals to 2 pi by lambda. So h by lambda basically becomes here p here. तो कहने का मतलब है कि when we operate the momentum operator, so it gives us the eigenvalue in the form of momentum. So there are two types of operator basically, linear operators and Hermitian operator. So linear operators means you can say that those operator which are basically time independent, okay, or you can say that they like position or momenta or Hamiltonian. These are the linear operators. So linear operators follow the simple algebraic property, like when we operate a linear operator on a wave function, and the wave function is such that there is a constant of proportionality c here, so there will be no any effect on this constant of proportionality. So it will be equals to c a cap fx, means the operator will be operated on the wave function only. Suppose there is a sum of two wave function fx gx, and you have operated a linear operator a cap here, so that will give you the two separately operation of operator on the function fx and gx. So you will get a cap fx plus a cap gx. Okay, so any linear operator, whether you take position or momenta or Hamiltonian, so they will just follow or they will satisfy these conditions. But this is not true for the Hamiltonian operator, sorry, Hermitian operator. So Hermitian operator, they are somewhat different than the linear operator. So a Hermitian operator basically, it is the Hermitian conjugate of a linear operator. So suppose a cap is linear operator, so it's a Hermitian conjugate, means it is represented by dagger. So a cap dagger. So a cap dagger is called the Hermitian conjugate. So Hermitian conjugate is basically also known as the adjoint. मैट्रिक्स में आप adjoint निकालते होंगे, so ऐसे ही adjoint जो है आपका, ये dagger a dagger से represent करते हैं. So how you find out adjoint? In case of matrix, you change the row into column and column into row. So similarly here for the operator, if you want to find the adjoint of this, so you have this simple condition here. Integral of a dagger psi asterisk psi dx. So this will be equal to psi asterisk a dagger का जब आप complex conjugate लेंगे तो dagger will be removed here. So you will get this equals to psi asterisk a cap psi dx. Okay. So the condition for an operator to be Hermitian, it is integral of a psi whole asterisk psi dx must be equal to psi asterisk a, it will be a asterisk. So if a is Hermitian, तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि the value of a asterisk must be equal to a. So this is just similar like to the Hermitian matrix, in which the adjoint of a matrix is equals to itself the matrix. So similarly here, if a is Hermitian operator, जब आप इसको ओपन करेंगे तो ये बेसिकली ओपन होगा psi asterisk a cap asterisk. So if a cap asterisk equals to a cap, so this operator will be called Hermitian. So it means that this is the mathematical condition for an operator to be called as Hermitian operator. और इसको भी हम पहले देख चुके हैं इसके पहले. So these are the two types of operators. Okay. Expectation value, in the previous lecture I have also explained you that expectation value is basically gives us the average of the n number of observations, but it is different than the average value of the algebraic number or mathematical number, because here we have the physical observable, and that physical observable may be position, moment, or Hamiltonian, or kinetic energy. So how to write down the expectation value of any operator? Suppose a cap is any operator that is operated on a wave function, so its expectation value will be written as this: a cap, expectation of a cap equals to integral of psi asterisk a cap psi dx. Okay, so this is the way to write down the expectation value of any operator. So here psi is eigenfunction of operator a cap with eigenvalue a. So if your wave function is normalized, तो हमें पता है कि नॉर्मलाइज्ड वेव फंक्शन की जो आइगन जो वैल्यू होती है प्रोबेबिलिटी डेंसिटी इंटीग्रल साई स्ट्रिक साई dx वो ऑलवेज 1 होता है, तो बचा सिर्फ यहाँ पे a. So if expectation value of a equals to a, that is its eigen value. So if the wave function is normalized, so this whole integration will be equal to 1. तो आपको जो ऑपरेटर है इसकी एक्सपेक्टेशन वैल्यू उसकी आइगन वैल्यू होगी बेसिकली. So expectation value of a cap will be equals to a. तो ये फार्मूला है. बाय दिस फार्मूला यू कैन फाइंड आउट इफ सपोज हमें px की एक्सपेक्टेशन वैल्यू लिखना है, तो px cap एक्सपेक्टेशन इक्वल्स टू इंटीग्रल psi asterisk px cap psi dx. Substitute here the value of moment operator px cap, that is minus ih का dou psi by dou x. सॉल्व करिए इसको, वेव फंक्शन रखिए, कॉम्प्लेक्स कॉन्जुगेट लीजिए, डिफरेंशिएट करिए, सॉल्व करिए, तो आपको वो एक्सपेक्टेशन वैल्यू हो जाए, and you will get a real value here. Okay, that means you will get the eigen value basically. Now this equation, you know, this is the equation of motion in quantum mechanics. If we have suppose the quantity like force or position, so we write down d2r by dt square equals to f force. Similarly in quantum mechanics we have the equation of motion, d by dt of expectation of operator a equals to whole expectation of dou a over dou t plus I by h cut expectation of commutation of h cut a. You don't need to derive this. The derivation is already given in the books, which is referred in the syllabus. So this you have to just remember this equation of motion. Now how to understand this equation? See here, if suppose your operator a cap is time independent, means if suppose we are talking about the linear operator जो मैंने अभी आपको यहाँ कहा, जैसे position, momentum and Hamiltonian, these are the three operators which are time independent, means there is no any involvement of time in this operator. p होता है minus I h का dou over dou x, Hamiltonian होता है p square by 2m plus vx. So if suppose we have a linear operator a cap which is time independent, so in that case is dou a over dou t, it will be equals to 0. That is a cap is linear operator, so it does not depend upon time, so this term is 0. So if you put this term is 0 for linear operator, so we get multiplying by this I by h cut here, cross multiplying, so you will get I h cut d by dt of average or expectation of a equals to expectation of commutation of ah. So this will be term, this term will be drop out. So this equals to this. Again, if suppose a cap is an operator, h cap is Hamiltonian, if they both commute to each other, so if they are commuting to each other, so their commutation value will be 0. So this whole right hand side term will be 0. So in next step you will get d by dt of expectation of a equals to 0. So if they are commuting to each other, so in that case this dA by dt will be 0 and that is A cap equals to constant. So this is a conserved observable. So like in classical mechanics, you have read about the constants of motion. So constants of motion in classical mechanics means the quantity integral of P dl, it does not depend upon the path, means it always remains constant whether you choose path A to B or B to A. So similarly here, if the operator is linear operator, it commutes with the Hamiltonian, so then it will represent the constant observable quantity, or this operator will be a conserved observable. That is also called the constants of motion in quantum mechanics. Okay, so this is the equation of motion in terms of operators. Okay, now we are again coming to the time dependent Schrodinger equation. So as our in previous lecture I have mentioned, this is the time dependent Schrodinger equation in one dimension, and the solution of this equation is written as psi xt equals to e power minus et by h cut psi x. Okay, so if we write down here, if you multiply by here, if suppose this is the equation for time independent Schrodinger equation, here you have substituted the value of energy operator. If we do not put the value of energy operator, so you get the, means if the motion of particle is independent of time, here the wave function depend upon time also. If suppose the wave function does not depend upon time, so this will be the time independent Schrodinger equation. So this is the total term E. This represents the kinetic energy term, and this represents the potential energy. So total energy equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy, and this is the time independent Schrodinger equation. So when the total energy does not depend upon time, so that is called that is for suppose free particle. So the motion of free particle is suppose independent of time, that is the potential is not function of time, only function of position. So that will be useful for the case of time independent motion of a particle, and that's why we use the time independent Schrodinger equation. So let us take a simple example, particle in a box. So how we write down the equation for particle in a box? So suppose this is classically I am representing that you have a box of some width, okay, and that is in terms of potential depth. So here suppose you have a box of dimension 0.1 nanometer. An electron is freely moving in this box in one dimension. So how to represent the wave function for this free particle using the time independent Schrodinger equation? So this particle in this box, it is bounded with the two boundaries. Okay, that is, it is present in a certain region of space. Okay, so if it is bound, so the question comes in mind that can the particle still be described as a wave? So if this particle is bound in the boundary of a one-dimensional box, so can this be described as a wave? So answer is yes. And how it is described? So it is described as a standing wave, because what will happen when the wave associated with this particle, it will move along x-axis, they will again come back here, they will again go. So in this way there will be superposition of incident and reflected wave. So the superposition of incident and reflecting wave always propagate the standing wave, just like the wave produced in a stretched string. तो एक रस्सी को अगर आप दो सिरों पे बांध दें और उसको स्ट्रेच करके छोड़ें, तो there will be the production of standing wave. So if we have the wave function psi, so the quantity mod psi square will give us the probability, and that can be calculated. And this is the wave function psi x equals to 1 power 0. Please unmute yourself. Rajendra Sodi. Rajendra Sodi. नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं आपको अलाउ नहीं करूंगा, जो भी डिस्टर्बेंस क्रिएट करेगा ना, आई विल नॉट अलाउ नेक्स्ट टाइम. So if this is the wave function, and if we resolve the position and time part separately, so this gives us basically the probability mod psi square. If we calculate px from this wave function, that is psi asterisk, so the complex conjugate of this term will become e power minus j omega t. So e power plus j omega t and minus j omega t becomes e power 0, that is 1. तो फाइनली हमें प्रोबेबिलिटी मिली px इक्वल्स टू साई स्क्वायर dx. तो ये जो प्रोबेबिलिटी है ये हमें पता करके दे सकती है कि व्हाट विल बी द एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन ऑफ द पार्टिकल इन द बॉक्स. So these are the dimension of the one dimensional box, that between, suppose L is the length of the box, so between the box there is no any potential, means particle is free to move. So when x greater than 0 and less than L, that is within the box, there is no any potential, that is particle is free to move. And on the wall, that is at x equals to 0 and at x equals to L, here suppose this is at x equals to 0 and at x equals to L, the potential is infinite. यहाँ पे फंक्शन आपका डिसकंटिन्यूअस हो जाएगा जब हमने प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ वेव फंक्शन पढ़ी थी. तो this is the boundary conditions for a one dimensional box. Okay, now using this potential condition, let us we write down the time independent Schrodinger equation. So where potential is 0 here, so इस हमारी टाइम इंडिपेंडेंट इक्वेशन जो है यहाँ पर, इसमें v टर्म 0 हो जाएगी. सो यू विल गेट ओनली e psi x इक्वल्स टू माइनस h कट स्क्वायर बाय 2m dou square or dou x square psi x. So this is the equation which will become here like this. Now we will write down, this is a second order differential equation. So we will write down the general solution of this equation, which is written as psi x equals to a sin kx plus b cos kx. और आप इसको पुराने तरीके से कर सकते हैं जैसा हमने किया था. यू कैन राइट डाउन साई एक्स इक्वल्स टू ए साइन बी एक्स प्लस सी. मेथड इज सेम, वहां पे भी आपको कांस्टेंट्स की वैल्यू निकालना पड़ेगी बाउंड्री कंडीशन लगा के. सो व्हेन वी विल पुट द बाउंड्री कंडीशन that at x equals to 0, psi x becomes 0 because probability becomes there 0 when v is infinite, and at x equals to L, again v is infinite, vx is infinite, so the potential becomes infinite, that is probability becomes 0 there, the function becomes discontinuous, so psi x 0 हो जाएगा. और ये लगा के जब आप कंडीशंस निकालेंगे तो कांस्टेंट, फाइनली यू विल गेट दिस वेव फंक्शन psi x equals to a sin nx by L. L is the width of the box. Now to get the value of this normalized wave function, we use the condition of normalization, and this condition of normalization here gives us the value of constant a, which is root 2 by L. So finally you get a normalized wave function. So this is the normalized wave function for a free particle which is vibrating in a one dimensional box, and that gives us the quantized wave number. So quantized wave number kn equals to, you can calculate the wave number also, that is equals to root 2m by, जो आपने शुरू में सब्स्टिट्यूशन लिया यहाँ पर, ये k equals to root 2m e by h cut square. तो यहाँ से आपको you can find out the quantized wave number, or you can calculate the energy eigenvalue. So energy eigenvalue En, finally we get n square pi square h cut square by 2 ml square. If you put the value of h cut here, h by 2 pi, so you can get the finally the relation n square h square upon 8 ml square. So this energy here, remember that it depends upon the integral value n, and L is constant here. This is the width of the box, and remaining other quantities are constant. So only the thing by which the energy changes, it is this integral here, integer value n, and this n represent here the different energy state. So for ground state, suppose n equals to 0, so what will be the energy here? For the ground state, n equals to 0, the energy En becomes 0 here. For the फर्स्ट एक्साइटेड स्टेट इफ यू पुट n इक्वल्स टू 1, तो आपको यहाँ पर मिलेगा E1 की वैल्यू पाई स्क्वायर दिस, एच कट की वैल्यू रखेंगे तो ये हो जाएगा आपका n स्क्वायर एच स्क्वायर अपॉन 8 ml स्क्वायर. So see, from this normalized wave function, if we plot these wave functions psi x versus x, so you will get the representation of the wave function like this. If you plot the probability density, that is mod psi square, by taking the square of this quantity, so you will get the representation of mod psi square versus the position like this. So here there are some points at where the probability is maximum 1, and there are some points where the probability is 0, and there is a sinusoidal wave behavior of this moving particle. So that causes here the standing wave, means this is one incident wave, then reflected wave will come again, so you will get a standing wave here. And this is the representation of the energy in different energy state. So if you put here n equals to 1, this is the energy E1. Then when you put n equals to 2, so it become 4 times of the E1. That is because it is proportional to n square. Then when you put n equals to 3, so you get 9 E1, 16 E1, 25 E1. So these represent here the discrete energy of a free particle in one dimensional box. And two energy levels are not equispaced. Okay. The difference of first to second energy state is 3E1. Here it is 5E1. Then it is 7E1. Okay, so the difference is continuously increasing. So this shows that the energy levels of free electron are discrete. Means for each energy state there is a finite energy, but not equispaced. Means दो energy level के बीच का difference है वो equal नहीं है. So this is the conclusion for this case for a free particle. This is the same second treatment. Okay, it also give the same result, so you can skip this slide. So this is the representation of the wave function for a free particle, and for the free particle you can solve this. This is the detailed solution of the previous one which I have shown you. Okay, so I think this is sufficient for today. Now if there is any doubt you can ask. And first let me clear you something, that you have to attend your class at the proper time. Okay, 2-3 minutes may be allowed, but ये ऐसा नहीं कोई आज 15 मिनट 20 मिनट बाद में भी आ रहा है. So remember this thing. Okay, if anybody has doubt can ask. इसमें अटेंडेंस भी आ जाएगी हमारे पास कि कौन कितनी बजे आया. तो यू प्लीज रिमेंबर फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट क्लास कि आप क्लास को प्रॉपर टाइम पे अटेंड करें. ओके, अदरवाइज बाद में बीच में डिस्टरबेंस होता है. आई विल सेंड यू द PDF फाइल of today's lecture also in the WhatsApp group, so that you can read with the help of that PDF file. Okay, so this is I think sufficient for today. So I will inform you about the next class tomorrow. Okay, so thank you all and have a good day. Bye.